name's Steve. I run the Hefty Yeti channel. This is my first time doing a review for anything at all. I'm a huge fan of the World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf, the Apocalypse and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to this. I've had a little go already, and the design of it is incredible. It is absolutely stunning. As you can see, it's just a beautiful looking game. I'm not too sure what style I'm going to play through as, but we're going to give it a go. I'll read out what I can, you can read what you want, and we'll have a look at it all there. I know a lot about Werewolf. As I said, I am a bit of a fan. So, hopefully this all goes well. Looks good, sounds good, and we keep on going. So, yeah, let's have a laugh. New game. Your progress will... Yeah, that's fine. I hadn't played it for too long. Sounds amazing. Premonition. Tutorial. This is a game about rage and how it helps us do the things that need to be done, as well the things that we later regret. Sometimes both. How do you feel about that? Great. I'm always angry. I'm okay with anger when it's useful. Well, I prefer to think before I act. That's... no. Great. I'm always angry. Ooh, Krenos. Nice. This is a game about rage and how it helps us do... I don't know. So you're an inspired warrior type. That's okay. There's no right path here. Just your decisions and their consequences. Yeah, fuck the consequences. Let's start already. We have a story to tell. Let's crack on. Inspiring. The forest. The woods are full of stars. They flicker. Come closer. Run away. They want me to chase them. I play hide and seek. Or to play hide and seek. See, I can read well. I hunt or I observe. See, that's the... I'm not gonna go into that side of it. It's yeah. They dance around the tree trunks, float up on the gusts of wind that shiver through the branches, disappear among the leaves. I let out a howl. Eager to run with them, I want everyone to know I'm there. Then they bunch up and fly towards me like an arrow, rushing down there soon upon me. But just before the spear of light pierces my breast, they disappear, and the dark of night returns. High rage. In the darkness, I feel the tangled roots of stories keeping the forest alive. I finally catch the scent of the enemy. I jump forward, and then I wake up. Confused, I open my eyes. The forest around me is thick, dark, and reeks of decay to such an extent that it's hard to breathe. The smell fascinates me. I recognize this forest. Why am I here? Maia, Homid. The smell fascinates me. The smell, both fascinating and repulsive, is everywhere. A memory stirs deep in my mind. Something elusive from my earliest childhood. The tree trunks wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy are covered in ripples of lichen. Where the vines haven't taken hold, the thorny, leafless bushes at their base are overrun with nettles. The fungi radiates with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms cling to the fallen trees. Something is rotten. I can't shake the feeling that something died nearby. I look down and see my hands covered in a dark substance. I'm naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid is clinging to my skin. I can feel it on my face, in my hair. Blood. I shout at the forest. What's happening? What's happening? Oh, am I heading down the Galliard Theurge route? Or Theurge route as well? Someone has drawn strange symbols on my skin and the dry blood. Was it me? There was a severed head right in front of me. I wince and touch it. Overcoming my disgust, I gently touch its wet hair and watch as the head topples over. The face is contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, as though the head was still struggling for air. I pick it up without thinking, high on adrenaline, and then eyes open. And then eyes open in the darkness. That need to be, and the eyes open in the darkness. So this is the beta. So there are still going to be a few things, issues with it, but it's the full game. So there might still be mistakes, but they obviously get sorted as the game goes on. So the enemy, I can see their silhouettes. Shades of jet black against the darkness. They reek of metal and acid and oil and money. Massive creatures, some with mandibles, some with spidery legs. Their faceted eyes burn like small industrial furnaces. I look at them, and something wakes inside my chest. Rage. Rage! Rage! Fucking rage! If you haven't seen Big Mouth, watch it. Unless you're too young. But if you're too young, you're probably not watching this. I throw the head in the direction of shining eyes and launch myself into the air. My whole body sings with the rush of adrenaline. I descend and sink my teeth into the neck of a monster that was stupid enough to stand in my way. In a moment of clarity, I almost understand what the forest wants from me. And then I wake up. The moment I wake up. So I really like that loading thing as well. That looks awesome. So this art style's fantastic. So cool. Dreams. Maia? Maia, wake up. I jerked upright, irritated. My neck was stiff. The movement was sent a sudden, sharp wave of discomfort through my body. I wasn't in the forest anymore. I was in a bus. The sun streaming through the windows was making it hard to see. Oh, so if I lose that and then I lose all my willpower, is that game over? No, it's not. Yeah, get fuck off me. Don't touch me. That second thought, I pushed her away. When your rage is high, you might say and do things you regret later. What's wrong with you? She recoiled, looking hurt and scared. It was a while before she said anything. You were singing, I guess, in your sleep? I blinked. The memory... No, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. I blinked. The memory of the dream was still there, and the overwhelming smell of the old forest. So do I smell like damp now? I looked outside. I was glad I wasn't alone. Thank you for coming with me, I said. The girl next to me shrugged. Alright, fine, fuck off then. Her name was Anya. We'd met a couple of weeks earlier at the orientation day. She was from Norway, a tall, broad-shouldered, calm person who wore her long hair in braids. Somehow I'd managed to talk her into this crazy field trip across the land of my ancestors. We were there to study medicine. She was having second thoughts. We'd both come to Poland for the same reason, to study medicine. It was less expensive here, and we'd both received government scholarships. So, did you want to become a doctor? Or, she asked when we first met. It wasn't my decision. I was still searching. The human body is fascinating. I was still searching. But what for? The game tracks your decisions on how Maia approaches problems. They will accumulate and gradually reveal what kind of person she is, deep in her heart. The story changes to reflect Maia's personality. Awesome. So at the moment, I'm a bit of a twat. A bit of an angry twat. I was still looking for something to inspire me. Spending the rest of my life earning bonuses from Big Pharma didn't seem exciting enough. I'd hoped that changing my environment completely, even for a week or two, might clear my head. That's why Anya and I were on a bus to Bialowice. Białowice. Białowice. I will try to remember that. Białowice. Białowice, a small village in northeast Poland near the border with Belarus. It was famous for its natural park, the very last European bison, and according to a quick web search, occasional tensions between far-right troublemakers and the local Belarusian community. Anya is cautious. She was having second thoughts. Anya reached into her backpack and took out an apple. She turned away from me and bit into the fruit. I reached into my bag and pished out a bunch of kabanasi, dried meaty sausages. Oh, I'm hungry now. That was so much better than the original Polish ones. The original Polish ones back in the US. Anya still looked like she regretted meeting me. People often did, actually. Oh, Maia. Girl after my own heart. Girl, you're a lot to handle, she said after a lengthy silence. I'm not sure if I have the bandwidth for so much drama in my life. This trip was my idea. Our summer language course was starting in a few weeks, and I'd managed to talk Anya into skipping the tours of concentration camps and old churches and visiting Bialowice National Park with me instead. I obviously said that perfectly there. Remind me, why are we here again? She asked with her arms crossed. Yeah, that's a good question. Why were we there? The most honest answer would have been because I've been dreaming about the forest in Białowice. Białowice. I'm getting there. I can remember, but didn't understand when I said things like, I'm dreaming about the forest, so I can't remember, but people didn't understand when I said things like that. I looked into her eyes. Oh, do I want to freak her out? No. I've already freaked her out enough. I kept it simple. I'm looking for my roots. I kept it simple so I wouldn't freak her out. Sensible. What I didn't tell her was even more important. I knew my family was from there. None of my relatives spoke about it, though. There are lots of things that weren't spoken about in my life. Strange dreams that plagued me, half-forgotten tales about forests and walls that I'd heard before my mum took me. Ran away and cut off all contact with my dad and his family. I waited for her to respond. Anya fell silent for a moment. So this is the thing. All Guru or kinfolk or anyone who's going through the change or been through the change or anything like that, they give off the vibe of being hunters, predators. And so people who don't understand are very uncomfortable around them. And they can't explain why. But she still looked like she regretted coming with me. I think we should split up for a while, she said finally. I already have a list of places I want to see. I'd just slow you down. That was a nice way to say fuck off. Yeah. And that was precisely why I needed to do something, anything, about my future. That damn forest and my weird-ass family. I had a clear goal in mind. I wasn't there by mistake. I'd planned this trip for months with a clear goal in mind. Okay. I had to face the forest. I had to learn the truth about my roots. I had to figure out my destiny. So I think the best place to go is the forest. My dreams, my grandfather's stories, the fact my family was from there. There were just too many coincidences. The forest wanted something from me, and it was time to find out what. I was never one to sit idly by as things happened to me. Anya took her luggage and disappeared as soon as we got off, leaving me at the deserted bus stop. Anya left. Bialowice looked like an overexposed photo of a village with the contrast turned all the way up. The sun wasn't just shining, it was shouting at the earth. And everything, the trees, the grass, the wooden houses, the fences, seemed weathered. Everything except the shadows. They were sharp, as though they were freshly printed with the darkest of inks. And they moved. Ooh, for a second I could have sworn they moved, but then I realised it was just a black cat walking down the sidewalk, Sidewalk. When it saw me, it stopped in its tracks. I decided to ignore it. Because no one likes cats. Something wasn't right, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I shrugged and looked around. A friend was supposed to pick me up from the bus stop, but he wasn't there, and the cat was still staring at me. For a moment, I was tempted to just get out of the sun and worry about my missing friend later. Oh, high rage. Do I storm off? So that's me pushing our rune right there. That could be fun. Normally in Werewolf, I end up fitting into the Ragabash role. So I'm either a Bone Nora Ragabash, or my preference, half the time, Red Talon Arun. So, because no one likes people, I stormed off. I grabbed my backpack and started walking. I hate when people are late. I do! I muttered under my breath. After some time, I heard hurried footsteps behind me. Maia, wait. It was Bartek. Late, flustered and apologetic. It was his dad's company, he explained, while catching his breath. He'd had to help him out with some paperwork. I didn't really care. I said nothing. Yeah. I took my time looking at him. It was the first time we'd met in real life. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and had freckles all over his face. Come on, I'll take you to your place. His accent was broad and very Eastern European. Anya would have liked him. Anya would have taken an immediate liking to him. He was totally her type. But she wasn't there. Her loss. We walked along the only street in the village, slowly making our way towards the outskirts. The trees were growing denser, the scent becoming richer and more pronounced. I took a deep breath. No, that was a yawn. I'm very tired. I took a deep breath. Gold Forest. So did you find anything linking me to the forest? Ooh. Cool. No, nothing. I was absolutely nothing. Sorry. He was avoiding my eyes. A trickle of sweat ran down his temple. He was lying straight to my face. What the fuck, man? I threw my arms in the air. You wrote to me a few days ago that you had something, but he just clammed up. You know what? I think you should drop it. I stopped. No. Fuck you, man. I turned to Bartok, grabbed his shirt and pushed him hard against a fence. I'm gonna eat your face and take your power. It's been... I'd always been strong, and anger maybe even stronger. His feet lost contact with the ground. Yeah, Roy. I travelled 300 miles in a fucking bus without air conditioning. I shouted, and a few flecks of spit hitting his chin. I did it because you said you'd found something. My arms got tired and I dropped him. I politely asked again. Oh. So he's cautious, but I'm brave. So would you kindly tell me what you found? Bartek scrambled to his feet, pale and terrified. Well, he brushed his forehead with the back of his hand. I did ask. I started with the old people here. I told them that my friend from the States was looking for her roots and wanted to know about the place her family came from. You know the drill. At first, people were very, receptive. I waited for the other shoe to drop, and then I mentioned your name. He shook his head. Oh, do I calm down a bit, or do I keep my rage high? Let's keep my rage high. I urged him to continue. Bartek, no dramatic pauses, please. The tension is killing me. One of the old men here told me to go to hell. The other spat on the ground, and his wife crossed herself. For a moment, he looked younger and smaller, and then my own grandmother told me to stop asking. She said something else as well. I tensed up. What? I asked. She told me to pray for you. Suddenly, the sweet golden afternoon wasn't so sweet and golden anymore. That piqued my interest. I knew there was something weird and twisted connecting me and my family to the forest. I could feel a shiver run down my spine. We walked in silence, but my mind was in overdrive. People didn't want to talk, and that could only mean one thing. I was on the right track. Ooh. Hint, people were scared to talk about my family in the forest. Yeah. Every time you learn or do something significant that brings you closer to your goal, you regain willpower. Cool. Oh, this is so cool. Bed and breakfast. Bialovice had a few hotels and hostels, but the preferred form of accommodation was bed and breakfasts. That's where we stayed. I found one that was nice, clean, and that had good reviews. We had a room on the second floor with a huge window and a great view of the forest. I dropped off my stuff and freshened up a bit. Bartek said a few hasty goodbyes and disappeared, and Anya was nowhere to be seen either. The day was hot and I was restless. I decided to head out. Before you go, check out your character sheet. Look for it up in the right corner of the screen. You can find loads of useful information about Maia, her background, personality, goals, and so on there. Let's have a look. Info. Maia Borodic, 24, student, American, brave 3, inspiring 5, analytical 1, spiritually cunning 0. Oh dear, I am a bad guru. Condition, healthy, goal, mystery. Understand what connects you to the forest. Pursue to regain willpower. New people were scared to talk about whatever connected my family to the forest. They didn't even want to hear the name. Anya is cautious. Bartek is cautious. Family, it's complicated. Well, yeah. But I had other things. Ooh. I had a clear goal in mind. The forest was calling to me, and I was ready to answer the call. So, when I played it before, Bartek came with me. He led me to the forest because I was nicer to him. So we've already got a different bit of gameplay here, where things are changing, and yeah. So this is all going to be different now. Oh my god! So if all that's changed, you could probably get that Anya to go with you as well. So I wonder if at any point you can get Anya Bartek to come with you to, what was his name? Bartek. I wonder if you can get both of them to come with you to the forest. That's another playthrough right there. The forest I dreamed about. Who's that? It was dark in the woods, dark, humid, and chilly. The leaves. Daniel looks at me. How do you like her? We met to maybe 20 minutes earlier. Bartek had told me Daniel was the best person to go if I wanted to see the forest. So I found him, and now here we are. So he's. Oh, right, okay. I wasn't sure. Do you mean the forest? I asked. Polish was a strange language that gave the most unexpected genders to objects and ideas. I mean, puska, pushka, pushka is the right word, not forest. Forests are like fields or orchards, cultivated. He spat as he said it. And pushka, she is older than even the concept of fields. He was using the word as though it was a name. A lot of people refer to things though as names, especially like boats and ships and stuff. I stood there and watched the forest. I looked at the pushka again. I looked around with fresh eyes. Inspiring. Ooh. So what is my inspiration at the moment? Oh yeah, 5. Damn, I'm inspiring. I felt as though I'd entered the ancient halls where warriors told their stories. The trees stretched towards the sky like columns, holding up the vaulted canopy, which blocked out all but a few rays of sunlight. Gigantic, fallen trunks were decomposing slowly around me, with young plants and colourful mushrooms sprouting from them. I tried to guess their age. Some looked like they'd been there since before Europeans had sailed to the Americas. What stories could they tell? I loved what I saw. It was alien. There was something unsettling about it all. So, I think at the moment she is this playthrough, she is very much an Arun, and she's going to love Nate, and she loves nature to the extent of she'd probably be more settled in the forest than anywhere else. That's my opinion, anyway. Obviously, when you play it through yourselves, you can play whatever you want and you can go through. So, how long has this been? Oh no, I just realized with my location of me, I'm covering everything. So I'm going to move me. Let's go over there. So that's 25 minutes. So this is going to be a series. We're going to carry on and do it all. So, but I love this. The art style, the story so far, the way it's written, this is really good. And I don't want to stop playing. But I'll see you in the next video. So this is part 1. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do that stuff. Leave a comment if you liked it. Tell me what you'd want to do. Tell me what directions you think she should go in with it all. If you've played it already, no spoilers, please. And then we can go from there. So, yeah, so I'll see you next time. Thank you.